Just walk?
Yeah, just walk around, hang out with the homeless people in Birmingham.
Terry knows them all by first name.
Yeah, I know them all. They all knew me because I'd give them money and food, so they let me hang out with them until I sobered up.
How did that go? Were they cool? Like, were they, I mean...
Oh, yeah, they were, I mean,
look at Terry. You're not going to fuck with Terry.
I look like I belong there. I look like I'm head of the HOA of the homeless community.
Grab the KY, get yourself ready. You got some sliding to do. Hanging out with TL and the boys, maybe some critters too. So get your phone and get on the gram. You know where to find the man. Slide into the DMs, girl, what's on your mind? Slide into the DMs, well, baby, take your time. Slide, slip it on in. Here we go again. DM Monday.
Welcome to episode 29 of the DM Monday podcast. I have my co-host Trey Bonner and Mitch Wallace. And today's guest is, it's going to be a good episode. It's going to be fun. I've known this guy for about 12 years, and it's the infamous Big Dick Terry Adams. What's up, brother?
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
How was your drive to Nashville?
Oh, it was good.
Fucking miserable.
Great. Actually, there's traffic every 40 miles.
What did you listen to on the way here? Podcast or music or silence?
Oh, no, I didn't listen to anything.
Terry likes talk radio.
He
Yeah.
practices.
Like NPR?
No. I don't know. I just listen to weird shit. I listen to like a really conservative channel, and then I'll listen to a really liberal one. Then I'll pick which ideas I like from each.
He does.
Cool.
I really just do it to argue with people.
Yeah.
Terry put a spreadsheet together of shit to roast us with while I was on the way
To
up
be
here.
ready to argue with
The only
anyone?
thing on my spreadsheet's your legs, Bonnie.
Oh, no.
That's the only thing
good.
spreading.
Spreading your legs.
That was good.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to keep this pillow here.
I don't even know how to use Microsoft Word. So,
Do you still listen to talk radio like you used to?
well, I just now got another car that has a radio in it. The last one I didn't have a radio for a year because someone in Nashville beat it up with a hatchet. But
Yeah, it's like who steals a radio?
it was like a 1990s Panasonic removable face.
Like it lights up?
CD. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something we had when we were 15, 16.
Yeah, like when we lived in Hermitage, remember
Yeah.
the van? Somebody stole the
Yeah.
stereo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I
like,
remember. That was
in
right when you
2020. I'm
that
like,
was-
who the fuck steals a radio? Like,
Still, yeah. They're like
what do
worth
you-
$50.
Yeah. What do you,
Well, they tried to
how do you get
hotwire
that?
the car, but all they did was disconnect the radio wires. They were on the wrong
Idiots.
side, yeah. Which the car wouldn't have made it far anyway. You had to put 4 quarts of wool every time you drove it. So
Damn. But yeah, Terry used to listen to talk radio. And one thing about Terry that's really funny is that he is the slowest, safest driver that I know.
Really?
Oh, I got
Safer-
pulled over yesterday.
For going too slow?
No, for going 65 and a 35.
Oh, damn. Did you get a ticket? Did you
Nope, I
talk
got a
your way
warning.
out of it?
I had my kids with me
Oh,
tell 'em.
nice. Where were you at?
on Highway 216 in McCalla. Officer Jones. She must be new. She didn't know me and I didn't know her, but I knew. She came up to my window and she was like, "Boy," I said, "I know." So she didn't
So
give
Terry,
me
you got a new record coming out.
March 10th.
What's it called?
Maybe There.
Maybe there.
Sounds great.
Well, it was fun. I'm looking forward to
Where's
it.
that name come from? What is
Oh, that's one of the songs.
cool? What's it about?
Maybe there, she won't be there. Like I'll go someplace and she won't be there, so I can't love her. You know.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite song on
That's
the
cool.
EP. Even though I'm on, I'm featured on a track. Damn good last
Damn
name.
Good Last Name, which I wrote about.
I've heard that one, yeah.
Dad,
Yeah,
and it kind of fit because me and Trey.
yeah. Terry joined the band in 2014.
Yeah.
And my dad had just passed away
Was it in June?
in June,
And
and
then
then 6 months later,
December,
Terry's
my
dad
dad died.
and then Mcilwain
Then
joined
6
the
months
band.
later, Mcilwain's dad died. So we're the Dead Dad Club.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
My dad was dead when I met y'all.
Trey Bonner wishes his was.
No.
I'm just kidding.
no.
Bonner's like, oh, let's get you go
No, fuck it.
We love your mom though.
Yeah, she's really nice.
Yeah,
Dude, I was
Have you given her your shirt? The shirt from Denver?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Haven't seen her. We listened to your to your podcast, to your record when we left Denver going to Vail
Vail,
at like 3 in the
good.
morning.
Did you like him?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard it
good.
before though.
Yeah, you did. It clearly didn't help your snowboarding any, but
Oh, dude, fucking ate shit.
hopefully it made you feel miserable about love lives because they're all sad, depressing songs.
I like. What's the first song on the record? That's my favorite.
Oh, Cocaine and Jesus.
Absolute banger.
I
Yeah, it
wrote
was
that.
good, dude. It was
I
fun.
wrote that in like 2 minutes. One
Speaking
night.
of driving here today, have you ever fallen asleep while driving?
not
Just acted like it was okay?
not sober.
Remember that time you flipped that?
Yeah, I did. flip a car over a median. What, 5 years ago?
Yeah. He
We
was
played
coming
at
over
Tin
from
Roof, and luckily I used to get really drunk, but I'd walk around till like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Just walk.
Yeah, just walk around, hang out with the homeless people in Birmingham.
Terry knows them all by first name.
Yeah, I know them
Seriously?
all. Yeah, I'd give them money, and they let me.
Like all the ones that hang out in Lakeview.
They would let me stay. Like, they have the little sections where,
communities?
So they all knew me because I'd give them money and food, so they let me hang out with them until I sobered up.
How did that go? Were they cool? Like, were they? I mean,
Oh yeah, they were. I mean,
look at Terry. You're not going to fuck with Terry.
I look like I belong there. I look like I'm head of the HOA of the homeless community.
hey man, y'all clean it up around here. Starting to get a little
tent.
messy.
Yeah, your tent's got mildew on it.
Your fire's too big, sir. Calm it down.
Well, like normally, like if you're like walking around Lakeview and a homeless person comes near you, you're kind of like, ooh, But Terry's like, what's up? Whatever, what's up, Paul? You know?
OG, Sam, Jarvis. There's a bunch of them down there. But that night, before I wrecked my car, OG actually pulled a knife on some dudes that were going to try to rob me. So now anytime I see him, I give, if I have it, I give him money.
We had a homeless man in Montgomery named OG.
Really? It might be the same one.
He would if he was, you'll know from the story. He would always go steal high-end mountain bikes and sell them to us for cheap.
Different one.
Yeah, so like he would come to the bar and he'd come up and he'd be like, hey. And we'd be like, what's up, OG? And he'd be like, I got this bike over here.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Trek. And like we'd look it up and it'd be like a $900 bike. He's like, man, just give me like $50.
Yeah, that's all they need.
And we're like, all right.
So you had a high end bike?
Oh yeah, dude. A bunch of us would get nice bikes. And the best thing about OG is like, this is the best hustle I've ever seen for a homeless person. He would steal a stack of napkins and he'd get a Sharpie and he'd come to the bar, and for a tip, he would draw you and your date with a Sharpie. And it's the worst drawing you've ever seen in your life. But it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Because like you'd tell a girl, you'd be like, hey, draw this girl and I'll give you $5. And he'd sit there and he'd be like, okay.
You'd think he was doing something.
Yeah, and you'd be like, damn, this is finna be good. And then you'd get the drawing, it'd just be like a noodle, like a stick figure. And then you'd be like, hell yeah.
He drew like a penis pic.
The girl's like all excited that she's about to like get this, this homeless guy's going to be like awesome.
But he would make her sit there for like 15 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
So it was so much fun. Like you'd go to your drunk friend and be like, hey, draw him. And he'd be like, all right, sit down. And your friend would have to sit there for 15 minutes.
I don't think I've ever been on a date where a girl liked me enough to sit still for 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Except for during sex when I let her down. But
yeah.
no, our OG, he one night he gave me these coins. I'm sure he stole from some residents, but I didn't think about them for like years. And one day my son was playing with them. I was like, well, let me look these up. And I looked them up, and they're all like $2,000 a piece, but I'm scared to pawn them.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a connection, I could use it.
Nice. Dude, I was when you were on your way here, I was going back through the calendar. This is something I do every now and then just to, like reminisce and how far we've come since 2014. Do you remember when you joined the band? Like what month it was of that year?
Yeah, well, I met you
at Bar 31.
At Bar 31. So I actually joined. It was like August 5th because it was my stepdad's birthday.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. And I met y'all August. Was it?
Yeah, wait, I think your first gig was...
Because you told me to practice.
All right, so here it was. I told you to practice. It was August 2014 on the 16th. We had our first gig at Southern Kitchen. It's right here on my calendar.
It was like 2 weeks because I met you like August 4th or August 5th. You asked me to join the band on August 5th because it was Ed's birthday.
Yeah.
And then you said, hey, you're going to miss this first gig because it was like 80 songs to learn. Yeah. And I never listened to country, like, the newer stuff. And then you called me like 2 days before. You're like, oh, fuck it, man. Just come on.
Up. And then he shows up at the gig and we're double booked.
No, the first one we played.
Oh, we played, yeah.
Then the next weekend, they asked us to play again, and we get there, and some band called Roscoe was.
Yeah.
And we had hired Tony Wachter to run sound for us. And we get there, and Ed showed up, and everybody showed up from my family that never shows up. And we were like, well, we're not playing.
Yeah. So I was just like looking at this, like, we don't have to go all the way through it, but like here's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Iron Horse, Basil.
Yeah.
Basil, back to back. Basil was a pizza restaurant.
Yeah.
Nice. Was this like duo acoustic?
What were their names? Nisha and
Cole Harvey.
Cole Harvey. I like them.
I want to hear the story about Terry playing drums at the Floribama.
Oh yeah, that's a great story. We should just go on into that. That's great.
So this guy calls us
Matt Smith.
Yeah, he calls us, and he's like, hey, man, I got a band. I need a band for this night. We're going to play on the dome stage at Floribama. So Trey's like, okay, I'll do it. And he's like, but we need a drummer. So
He was like, well, I play guitar.
I play
you
guitar
sing.
and you sing, which he ended up singing for part of the night. And we needed a drummer and we couldn't find one. So I was like, well, fuck it, I'll do it. And me and Trey at this time, every Wednesday and every other Friday,
We were playing at Courtyard 280.
280.
And Terry would play drums. I mean, we would do this
Oh,
like
so you knew how
trio
to play
thing.
drums.
well, I can keep a
It wasn't
beat.
great, but it wasn't bad.
Now,
You know,
if I just keep a straight beat, we're fine. Now, if I get drunk and try to do a lick, we're fucked.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we go to the Floribama. Trey has strep throat.
I'm sick. Like,
Sick as
sick
shit.
as fuck.
And are you supposed to be the main singer,
Yeah,
or are
I'm
you
the main
singing with this
singer.
guy?
But you got to remember too, like Trey now, which Trey's always had a good work ethic. Me and Trey have never on our own accord canceled a gig.
What year is this?
2014.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
We get there and Trey's like,
I'm
dude,
sick. I've never been sick and like had a gig before.
no, this was the
You know?
first
Yeah.
time ever. And we get up there and I'm poor as shit. I'd quit my job because it was a shitty job at the time. And me and Trey were just playing. We were playing 7 days a week, like sometimes
We were.
2 days,
We play like
2
5
gigs a
in
day.
week, yeah.
Yeah. And
So decent money.
no,
No,
it wasn't.
we were
250.
splitting like $250, $150. Like
We were taking gigs just like the exposure
but
thing.
we'd make like $400 a piece a weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, to me that was. I mean, we were both. I mean, he's still married, but like I was married then, so that wasn't. Any
Yeah, this
money.
was Fat Trey too, right?
Yeah.
Like chubby fat.
Yeah, this was Fat Trey with a
Goatee.
vest and a.
The
with a
fucking
goatee.
vest,
hell
the
yeah!
goatee and the sideburns
Yeah.
and spiked hair, balding on top.
nice.
I didn't think I was
Hell
balding yet.
You weren't balding then,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, hell yeah!
And we go to the Floribama and we play. And right before the gig, this is actually literally the only big argument
We almost got in a fist fight.
me and Trey have ever had. And because we're both blunt people,
Yeah.
like, we'll both be like, "Hey, fuck you, man. We're not doing that."
I was like, dude, I might have to ask these people to like play for us. Like, I can't do this gig. And Terry's like, well, we didn't come down here for nothing. And I was like, well, how about I just beat your ass? You know? And then he walked outside. He was so mad. He was like clenching his fist. And I was like, I'm sorry, dude. We'll just play the gig. And,
But you know what's funny is like after that night, Trey got up there and sang his ass off.
yeah.
And after that, I've puked off the side of the stage.
I've shit myself.
himself. He had C. diff and played like 5 gigs.
Yeah.
I've had the flu, puking off the side of the stage. But after that, we kind of figured out like we can get through
Two
any
things,
gig.
anything, you know?
Oh,
like,
dude.
It's like,
Yeah, I still got. If there's any dentists out there that want to sponsor me, let's go.
yeah.
But no, after that, that was kind of like it was a shitty night that night. But it
So
kind
he
of
was like, I don't know if we can play. And you were like, we
Dude.
have to. And he's like, or I'll just beat your
Yeah,
ass.
I was like, I can just kick your ass, motherfucker. You know, like, fuck you.
What did Terry look like at this time? You were fat with a goatee and sideburns. What did
Terry had
look
like shorter hair and like a small beard. He looked like Chris Jansen.
We'll insert a photo.
Yeah.
Right there.
Looked like
That'd
a
be great.
skinny Chris Jansen.
Christian
Yeah, but-
skinny.
Well,
I just walked outside because I have a bad temper too. So
Yeah.
like I was like, fuck this. I'm walking outside. And
Yeah.
Trey came out there and I was like, don't fucking talk to me. And he's like, no, dude, I'm sorry. Let's go do it. So we go do it. And it turned out half the night was comical as fuck. but
yeah.
It was fun. We got through it and we got paid and
We got through it and we walked out of there and said, well, we're never getting booked there again. But
we did. And if
but we didn't for a long time.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
But now if you go in there, if you look at the table up in the, what's that room
the
called?
main room upstairs.
There's a girl, this girl, I don't remember her name,
yeah.
but Trey has a shirt with a drawing.
Well, you know my guitar picks that have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She drew that.
She drew
Oh,
them
along
on the
back then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
all the
drew
way
them
back
on
then.
the table while me and Trey were playing an acoustic gig because
Yeah.
during COVID.
This is like
me-
during. This was me and my mom came to that.
Yeah,
Remember?
The little
During my
face
birthday.
that's on the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this girl,
July 20. It was in 2020.
She drew it and then we made it like a digital print.
and she drew a picture of Trey and drew a picture of me, and the Floribama kept me and Trey in business. Like we played there.
Like under mine, she wrote Backup Man because that's the song I was playing at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
and over mine, she wrote Cocaine and Jesus.
Yeah.
And now that song's coming out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Damn, 9 years later.
Well, I
No,
mean,
this is 2020.
I put it out
Oh.
before, but I got in trouble by Trey because I didn't know how to. I don't do. You've bitched at me for my social media skills.
Yeah, they suck.
They do. They suck. But when I recorded that,
But it's just content. I mean,
I literally just put a white back screen and then typed the name. And Trey was like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?"
Yeah.
So,
But Ben Miller
very
took these
cocaine.
new photos, right?
What's your favorite memory of like, you know, before Dick Down in Dallas? Like I don't know, of one of your, you know, one of the nights.
there's a
Done
bunch.
so much crazy shit.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch. One of my favorites. It wasn't. We played. Me and Trey played every year. We did it, but we played this like fancy thing every year. And so fancy, they're doing Botox on these housewives
it was
during
like,
the show.
what was that?
Market
the
Noel.
show?
Market Noel, yeah.
And then that night we played at like this smoky dive bar.
Yeah.
And,
Courtyard 280.
and Trey gets up on the mic and he's like, "Well, we went from high class to low class real fucking quick." Because we had people tipping hundreds to people like not wanting to.
I've
throwing
always said,
cigarette butts at
and
you.
then that's just like a true like testament that I've always said crazy shit into
One of the
mic.
first gigs I ever played with them, we're playing at Pablo's and nobody likes us this certain night. It's like people wanting to eat and Trey's like, "Well, guys, I know y'all don't want me to be here, but if y'all can put some money in this bucket, I'd really like to fucking pay my power bill this week." Like, he would always say stupid shit.
and it worked. You
It
know?
worked because then they would start.
baby.
And then the next time I played there by myself, they put me far away from where anyone could walk by and tip.
Oh man.
So
Yeah, sometimes they would put you away from the door. I was like, fuck that. I want to be right in front of the door so everybody can tip me right when they leave.
or you'd get there and they'd be like, "Sorry, we don't have a crowd. Like, you can go home." I was like, "You got to pay me, man."
I'll be taking bar stools
Yeah.
out of this bitch. and
So
selling 'em.
if, from like, you know, y'all did years of that struggling. If you had any advice to like a young artist right now that's in the shit right now, that's not getting paid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, that's, you know, you have those late night thoughts where you're like, man, is this even fucking worth it? Like,
Never
what do you
it
say
for
to
the
them?
money. Don't. If you're in this for the money, go the fuck home. Because I've met just coming up here and doing songwriter things. People be like, "Yeah, man, I just moved here, but I'm gonna give it to like 24." You might as well go home. If you don't love it, like I love writing music, I love the grind, I love playing the shithole bars. If you don't love it, you're not gonna make it because you can't do that shit.
Yeah.
If you don't love it, if you're in it for the money for the first 10 years, go home, get a job, call daddy.
I kind of love that aspect of it. Like, I can't remember who I was talking to the other day. I was talking to this guy. He's a little bit older and he's been to college, you know, has a degree and has a job for that degree, but like he's not happy, you know,
Yeah.
doing what he's doing. And I was like, man, if, you know, you could do whatever job you wanted to, doesn't matter. Like, if money didn't matter, what would you do? You know?
Right.
And like, I think that's the thing is like, you got to find that thing, like whatever it is. And, you know, for me, that's music. So I'm just like, I knew forever that if I could just learn how to like make a living doing it, and we did. I mean, we made a living. Sometimes you struggle, but I mean, I think most people with any job, you know, struggle somewhat. You know, there's always something, some kind of bill or some kind of bullshit. I mean, that's just life. You
That's
know,
life, yeah.
But like I said, man, if even if I was still broke and like traveling every weekend to play cover gigs and just barely getting by and getting to write friends with my songs, like write songs with my friends, like I would just keep, you know, like I would still be doing it. Like the Luke Combs song. If I wasn't doing this, I'd still be doing this shit.
Well, so when I met Trey that night, I'd quit playing for like 2 or 3 years because I got called up in the rock scene and had a little success with writing and stuff for that. And then I was just like, I'm not happy doing this. And then I quit for like 2 years. I bought a guitar that day that I came. I bought a Yamaha AC3 series acoustic that day because David Hill kept bugging the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, man, I didn't have a guitar that would plug in at the time. So I bought one and went that night, which is crazy too. You just got to take chances because had I not done that, I'd still, and
Terry literally bought a guitar, came to the writers round, met me. He had taken like a year or two.
yeah, I hadn't played in like
Just
2
from playing
years.
music?
Just, yeah.
What was your plan during those 2 years?
I made,
He was raising kids and
well, before, Gibson was only,
a year.
yes.
What were you going to do for work?
Not
though?
even a year.
Oh, I did hospice. And then before that, I was a welder. I've always had jobs where I made good money. I just wasn't happy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like, if I don't want to do something, you're not going to tell me to do something. Like, even if it's a good paying job, like if you're like, come in, hey, you got to do this today. I'm like, fuck this, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I just, if you're not happy and passionate about it, I don't think you should do it. And That's why I never cared. Like, me and Trey played some shit gigs, but I also think too, if you advice for people is be loyal to somebody. Quit jumping bands for $10 more.
Yeah. I think like those, those shitty nights in a broke down car and van and everything like really are the most like fun. They really like build character.
Yeah, there was times where we would get in that Honda Civic and just
boy.
be like, what the fuck are we doing?
You couldn't even turn left. It would
Dude, those are the
calling
nights
dogs.
Yeah.
you just have to laugh.
Yeah.
You get in the car and you just laugh together. You're like, man, this sucks so
What's
bad.
that place we used to?
It's fun.
Did you ever do the Ezel's Catfish Cabin?
Yeah, that
Remember we
was
stay in that Fleabag motel and all that shit?
yeah, and had all the mounted deer and stuff. Like it's like that restaurant.
Yeah, we were playing
Yeah.
this gig one time and like we started at like 6 and we played till like 10 and it paid like $400. And I mean, it was like ass crack hot. Like it just like so miserable. You know where you just walk outside and you're automatically sweating?
Yeah.
Well, we get done at 10 and like, but like while we were playing, nobody was like into it.
Yeah.
Well, then like right when we started to like finish our set, that's when the people started like piling in.
Always
you know?
happens.
Yep.
And the guy was like, hey man, could you play for like another hour or two? I was like, absolutely not.
Not a shot.
He was like, what's it going to take? I was like, dude, there's no amount of money you can pay me. He was like, well, I'll pay you $400 more. I was like, well, Terry, we're doing this.
Well,
That's $800. That's a lot of money,
we always did well though. Like when we'd first get places, even if it was a shithole, me and Trey would be like, damn. But we both talk a lot of shit on the mic. Yeah. And we back then, it's not like a show
like a
now.
banter.
Yeah, now you have to kind of watch what you're saying.
Yeah.
I've said the wrong cities at places before, like drunk as shit, or looked at Trey and be like, I can't see my fretboard. He'd be like, oh, just do the best you can. But we would talk shit back and forth to each other, and people would just start tipping. And we were never scared of request unless it was Brown Eyed Girl and Innisfree.
You remember the night in Auburn when there was that huge fight? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Were y'all involved in the fight?
Yeah,
I'll call out names all day right now.
I couldn't play.
Start with the Mcilwain.
They actually wouldn't let us.
This is post-divorce. I got a divorce, and I mean, it was on.
Was that Bourbon Street? Is that the one?
No,
I'm making a drink.
We're talking
You want one,
about.
Mitch?
Oh, I know. What you're
I'm making a
talking
drink.
about.
You
No,
want
this is
water.
this is a girl getting drug out of the. Do you remember down that?
Crazy Kayla.
Oh yeah, I think I actually choke slammed a woman.
Hey, and the
that
girl
night.
and the girl you kissed, Mitch's girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
I didn't have a girlfriend.
yeah, that's what he said.
Come on, dude. We're tunnel brothers. Come on.
No, we're not. I've never dated or had
This might have been
tunnels.
the same night.
I've never been in a tunnel or whatever y'all
I love
talking
the
about.
fact Mitch told a girl,
Christian.
"Oh, you want to go
Oh,
smoke
no.
a cigarette? Well, that guy looks like a smoker. Go follow him."
I said that?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, I
feel
I
did.
hate cigarettes.
I feel like we talk about this every time Terry has any kind of sip of alcohol,
Dude, Terry
I didn't
denied
bring-
it.
I didn't bring it up. Matt did.
Terry denied it so much. And then
What's
one
that?
day,
Tequila?
Vodka or tequila?
I don't know. Drink it. Put me in a puss.
What is it? Let me see.
smell it.
That's vodka.
One day,
That's
Terry
consummate.
got drunk, like 2 years after that happened. And he was like,
Yeah.
hey, Mitch, I do think I did that, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you gotta be. Now, in all fairness, I didn't know you then.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we thought you were a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I said, why'd you just kiss that homeless guy?
Yeah, well,
She was like, that's Terry. And I was like,
She's-
I don't care.
she's a good Christian woman.
She was like, it's just Terry. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't know who just Terry is.
It's just Terry. That
Yeah.
should be your new social handle.
Yeah, just Terry or commentary or
Yeah, the commentary. We only did
Why'd y'all
one.
think I was a dick? I wasn't a dick.
Well,
Well-
we just knew so and so, and she was, you were kind of giving her the runaround because you didn't want to date her. You were saying
Oh,
that with
yeah,
her.
but y'all did that too. So.
yeah, I didn't.
Y'all gave the same girl the runaround.
No telling
I'll
what Terry
have Bonner
did.
pour me into
Hey,
one
dude.
of those two whenever he comes out.
I'll do anything that won't do me first, so it's fine.
Do you think you could survive if a lion tried to you?
I guess I'd get fucked by a lion. But who else could say they got fucked by a lion? So that'd be a cool story.
Yeah. You can probably get like a tattoo of the scar.
I mean,
or
I
something.
survived Florida with Ryan Nelson.
What was your first tattoo?
My first tattoo was this. Oh, I skipped 11th grade and went and got this skull.
With big ass canine teeth.
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, that's just, I'm envious. That's the
It
teeth
kind
I
of looks
want.
like an alien.
He kind of does. But I skipped school and I went to a Christian school at the time. And they didn't like it. So,
In 11th grade, you left and got that.
Yeah.
Was it at a shop or
Yeah,
a
it
house?
was at Arrow Child in Birmingham. They were actually a really good.
I remember that place.
They were a really good tattoo shop.
How did you? Oh, what were you saying?
Oh, I just skipped school. Well, you got to remember, I'd already failed and done a lot of bad things by then. So I was 18 in 11th grade.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that for a minute, since this is the Terry Adams podcast that we got you on
we
here.
get to hound him with questions.
Let's talk about your childhood a lot, because that's something that I know about, but and our viewers know some of the crazy stories about Big Dick Terry and all that stuff. I mean, because they follow me on Snapchat, but. So you're from Birmingham. You were born in Birmingham.
Yeah, I was born
Brookwood
at the
Hospital?
No, shit, no. My family didn't have any money. Cooper Green, baby.
Damn.
Where you get a free crack rock with a birth.
Nice.
It's gone now, right? Cooper Green.
Yeah, it's gone. I think
Is that abandoned one that's
Yeah.
over
It's like
they turned it into something.
DCH in Tuscaloosa. Don't come here.
Yeah. Oh God, I've been to DCH too. I was born at Cooper Green, and then the first place we lived was Fairfield,
Yeah.
and our apartment burned down. Then we moved to Griselli Street in Fairfield, and I think we got evicted from that.
Is Fairfield a good part of town or not good?
No,
No.
it's not.
Okay.
And then after that, we moved to Center
When
Point.
did your parents divorce?
I was 4.
Oh, you were 4. Okay.
Yeah,
So pretty
and
soon.
So you didn't really care.
I didn't know. I mean, I see some people, they're like, my parents divorced when I was 4, and I love my dad. He was,
Yeah. Did you always live with your mom for the most part?
Yeah, I moved in with my dad when I got older and started getting into trouble and shit.
Yeah.
So I moved with my dad. I got in a lot of trouble. I was a little pussy kid forever.
Yeah.
And about 5th grade, a guy that had fucked with me from 2nd grade to 5th, I was just like, shit, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. And started getting in trouble. I sold baking soda to a big girl and told her it'd help her lose weight, which was wrong, but told her it was cocaine. And I went to jail when I was 12 for that. And
What? Hold on.
Hold on.
yeah,
You went to
Was
jail?
this, so you grew up in the hood most of your
I mean, from Fairfield
Did she
to Center
people
Point.
stealing your bikes.
Yeah, they stole my bike all the time.
Could have been that guy in Montgomery.
Yeah, it's probably
Oh, dude.
OG's
OG.
punk ass.
Dude, in my neighborhood, you didn't even want a nice bike. You
No.
wanted like a shitty one just to stay under
Dude,
the radar.
The first bike I bought, back in the day at poor schools, you sold coupon books.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
If you won, you got $100. So
Yeah.
I won, and I bought this chromed out Kawasaki K1 bicycle. That bitch got stolen every Friday.
Yeah.
But
But you'd have to go steal your bike back. Like
you
find
go
it, you'd
fight
like,
him.
oh, that's my mother.
yeah,
that's
I'd be
mine.
like, that's my bike, and you'd have to fight them. And then I grew up with like my granddad, who didn't believe you should ever lose.
Yeah.
He's the type dude, don't come back until you win type guy.
Damn.
And then my dad and uncles were like that way too. They were always like, if you played sports, which I was a pretty decent athlete, so it was always like, well, you did great. You had 4 interceptions, but if you hadn't missed that other one, you would have had 5.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I always grew up in pretty
rough areas.
Rough areas, yeah. And then
Did you have a stepdad at this time, or were you just your mom single?
I had a bunch of stepdads. I had a bunch of stepmoms too.
Yeah.
But the 2 I got now are really good.
Depends on how drunk you get him, but he'll tell you some stories.
Oh
about
yeah.
his
Well,
stepdad.
we're not gonna do that.
There.
I don't like the sympathy stories, so
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like to really
Yeah.
talk about that stuff. But we'll talk about butt play later. But
Man, Mcilwain like that one.
It's great, man.
Switch the camera back.
Only because I've heard the story
Yeah.
so many times.
If you can't joke about your childhood abuse,
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't dealt with it. You know what I mean?
and you can either choose to be a victim or be like, I was a kid.
Well, that happened, and that you know what I mean. Moving on, you know.
Dude, the wildest thing for me is like I didn't know that I was being abused
You don't know it
because you're just like, oh, I'm just getting punished.
Yeah, you go to school and you're like, oh, everybody's family is like
Yeah.
this. You
Yeah.
don't think anything
You never
about
know.
it until later you get a little older and you're like,
Hang on, that ain't
my
right.
family might be fucked up.
Yeah, shower time. Is
Yeah.
not like shower time.
Yeah, VO5 shampoo is not a lube; it's to wash your hair. But no, like
Wait, this doesn't happen to you?
yeah, this doesn't shit. They're like, they ask you weird questions. You're like, oh, that didn't happen.
Yeah. It's not funny, but it is.
I mean, dude,
I can laugh at it because I have similar things. That
it's
happen to me.
life, dude. Like, I mean, I started doing shit. I meet people now.
I want to hear more about you going to jail when you were 12.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a great story.
So
Did she snort the powder?
yeah,
the baking soda.
and it lit her shit on fire.
Damn.
But so I'd sold it to a bunch of people.
What a
Now
stupid ass.
I'll have to get one day. I'll have to make a documentary and let my mom tell the story because she's still probably about had a heart attack. So I had this little red safe.
Yeah.
So we'd play like pinocchles in elementary school where you smash the quarters. And
Yeah.
I was always a pretty tough kid.
We called it knuckles.
No, yeah, pinocchles, knuckles. So we'd play that. We'd play pencil pop.
Yeah.
Well, I bought this pencil from this guy that had like a metal rod in it.
Interesting.
So I beat everybody's ass.
Hell yeah, you did.
And then
Gangster back in high school.
my
Did y'all
brother,
ever play Indian
Terry's just
Erasers or
hustling.
whatever? Indian Burn, where you do
oh
a
yeah,
eraser?
were you a racer?
Yeah.
We did the salt and ice.
Yeah. Oh,
did
yeah.
slug,
I forgot about that.
punch. So my brother will tell you too. My brother Corey, he took up for me a lot. He actually flushed my dope a few times when I thought I was going to go to jail. But I had we didn't have much money, but Christmas time with my family, I'm sure all of y'all's like if you grew up poor. Like my parents didn't, they did the best they could, but we didn't have shit. But Christmas time was like, let's max out the credit cards.
Yeah.
And back then, starter jackets were expensive. Now you can get them at like Walmart for $30, but back then they were like $200.
Yeah.
So I wanted this Alabama starter jacket or a 49er starter jacket, but I got
Those starter jackets were bad.
Oh, they had the pouch in the front,
Yeah.
so I got one. Nobody, I mean, they would have caught me years earlier if they had realized I was wearing it in the summer. But I would go. There was this gas station where I lived. It was called Gainey's, and I would go up there and I'd get my brother because he was short. And in the back, the cream sodas and root beer were on the top shelf. So he would ask the clerk to go get him one because he couldn't reach it. And while he did that, I would put all the Bubble Yum and Bubblicious. I would just shove it, like cases of it, would shove it in my jacket and go to school and sell it for like $1 a pack.
Nice.
So at the end of my like 6th grade year, I had like $1,600 in this box. Well, then I'd started watching some shit and I was like, and seen, family friends and stuff doing stuff. And I was like, well, shit, if I can sell gum for $1 a pack and this white shit people are selling around town,
For 20.
I can get 20. So I went to the science lab and stole a bunch of these little vials and filled them up with baking soda and started selling them to people. Well, I told this big girl, she was talking about losing weight, and I was like, oh, cocaine will help you lose weight.
Yeah.
So I sold her a vial, and she actually, I don't think anybody else tried it, but she did. And I know her name. I'm not going to say it because I haven't seen her in years, but
Is she skinny now?
I don't know. I haven't.
Hopefully, there's a statute of limitations on all this stuff.
7 years, buddy. I've already
Okay.
researched that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Dude, that poor girl wanted to be skinny so bad.
She did. She fucking inhaled baking soda.
He said, fucking Terry at him.
And so she snorted it, and her nose started bleeding and shit.
She liked the way it smelled.
Yeah, I mean, I did
Did she
too.
tell on you?
Fuck yes, she told on me. She went to the office, and so they call me. The principal, I remember his name and everything, and Mr. Quick was his name, and he calls me to the office, and I'm standing there, and he was like, sir, could you stand over here? And there was 2 police officers,
Oh, no, been there.
and they had all these little vials on the counter, and I was like, fuck. And so they were like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, it's just, I didn't want to tell them myself,
Yeah, yeah.
so.
Well, hell, you sold fucking baking soda, and Mitch sold or hacked the school system. So
Oh,
I remember that.
I have another 6th grade story I'll tell after this.
So I got home, and my mom, I guess the tough love thing, she was friends with the chief of police. So I was sitting there, and she's like, eat your dinner. So I ate, and as soon as I got done, some cop cars pulled up, and they handcuffed me. And then they had this guy in there try to scare me, but like,
Scared straight moment.
But yeah, this was before Scared Straight, So they had this
You're like,
guy.
I grew up in the hood. And this
Yeah, I go in there and he's like yelling at me, like, you gonna be my bitch, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is city jail.
I'm going
dude.
home tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom will get me. Don't worry. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's a cool story to tell.
Yeah.
I when I was in 6th grade, me and my cousin Cody decided we wanted to make money. So we would steal packs of cigarettes from his mom, and we would sell them for $1.25 a piece because that's
shit.
how much snack costs to get like a juice and a bag of chips was $1.25. So that was what we priced it, and people would choose between snack or a cigarette to look cool because it was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So we would sell cigarettes for $1.25 over and over and over, and we were moving them,
it
dude.
in. Yeah.
We each had a pack in our backpack. And I remember one day. One of the like teacher assistants, he was really cool, and he came and called me to the office, and he came and got me. He's like, grab your bag. And I was like, uh-oh. Like, and I had a pack of cigarettes in my backpack. And we're walking to the office, and he was like, so, does anybody in your family smoke? And I said, yeah. He said, well, who? I said, all of them, like every single one of them.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay. Like even your cousin? And I was like, yeah. Cause my older cousin smoked at this time. And he was like, oh, okay. Cody smokes. And I was like, oh no, not Cody. And I was like, my older cousin. And he was like, oh, well, have you been selling cigarettes? And I was like, what? That's ridiculous. And he was like, so if I looked at your bag right now, you wouldn't have any cigarettes? And I was smart for my age, dude. And I threw a fit. I said, are you seriously accusing me of selling cigarettes, dude? And I threw my bag down. I was like, if I smell like smoke because my mom smokes in the house, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you can look through my bag, man. This is ridiculous.
Was this after the hacking or before?
Before. And I was like, this is just ridiculous. I'm sorry that I smell like smoke and y'all are accusing me of selling cigarettes. And he was like, I played the guilt card.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm sorry, man. Get your bag and just go back to class.
I needed to learn how
He
to
didn't
do
even
that.
go through it?
No.
Damn, there was cigarettes and money in there and everything.
Cigarettes, money, everything. And
Quarters.
So after school, I found out that Cody got caught.
Yeah.
And that's why they called me, because Cody had already been caught.
Yeah.
And Cody wouldn't tell on me. And
Of course, he's
we
gangster.
got back to the house. My grandparents, me and Cody lived at our house, and then my grandparents' house was kind of in the middle, real close to each other. And my grandparents had a huge bookshelf. I mean, huge, dude. Probably like 3 stories tall bookshelves on both sides of the TV, full of books. And Cody's punishment was he had to take every single book down and dust the whole book, and then dust the whole shelf, and then put them all back up in the exact same order they came down.
That would have killed my allergies.
Dude, it took him probably a month. And I remember just watching, and I would try to help him, and my uncle would come in there and be like, no, you're not allowed to help. But I felt so bad because I was doing it too, and he didn't snitch.
Yeah.
And then I remember he finished, and I was like, hell yeah, you're finally done. We can play again. And, I always felt bad I wouldn't play when we were there, because I was like, I should have been doing it too. And
but you don't snitch.
Yeah, he finished, and then I remember I was like, yes, we could play. And then my uncle came in there and was like, all right, do it again. And I was like, no.
Your uncle sounds like a real asshole.
Dude, it sucked. And Cody was like, really?
I had
But he never snitched.
we used to have dances in middle school. sixth grade.
yeah.
And me and my friend Omar, we got high before we went to the
In 6th grade?
in 6th grade.
On high on what?
On weed. I mean, we were like back then. You would smoke weed and you would be high for like
Is
2
this
days.
yellow car, Omar?
That was Zito.
I smoked weed out of an apple the first time when I was 11.
Yeah, but I smoked out an apple before, but I mean, we got high as hell.
Super bad idea.
And I don't know why. Like we just smoked like out of a Coke can or something.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
we
Just have
didn't
holes in
know
it.
anything about rolling joints or blunts, but we had these Swisher Sweet.
Well, we didn't have access to them.
Yeah, we had these Swisher Sweet cigars though that we were just smoking for fun.
Oh, yeah.
And for some reason, we decided to take them to the school dance with us.
Oh.
Like we weren't going to smoke them in there or anything. But anyways, I think me or Omar like told somebody that we had them, and like somebody told on us or whatever. Well, I get called into the principal's office like at the school dance, like all the lights are off, and dude, I'm so high, but like I'm in the principal's office for what feels like a million years, and I've got the cigars like in my waist, and they're like just like going back and forth. They like get Omar in there, and they get this other guy in there, and they're just like drilling us with questions, and they're like, all right, now empty your pockets again. They made me do it like 5 times,
Yeah.
But like I'm just playing it off, and I'm not like high. I'm like crying and like I don't know what's going on, like But anyways, they ended up letting me go, and I never got in trouble, so it was awesome.
I was always bad with that. I wouldn't snitch on my friends because you get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
But if I knew, like one year at a school, me and 2 of my buddies broke into the school and took all the desks and put them out on the baseball field. Like, stupid.
Yeah.
And they said the cops were called and they were going to do all this background checking this and go to jail. So I was like, I did it. And then we changed the men and women's bathroom signs. And this man went and shit in the women's bathroom. And my buddy Jared King, you know Jared.
Yeah,
Jared did that with me, but I didn't tell on him.
Until now.
Well, I mean, it's very, everyone knows now.
Yeah.
Bonner, did you do anything bad in school?
No, I was lame until I started smoking weed at 23. So
Yeah. One time in school, I was in wood shop class in high school, and this one kid, like there was an old shitty computer in the middle of the room, and this one kid, I was just such a troublemaker. I guess he was having a bad day, and he just randomly grabbed a hammer and started just beating the shit out of the screen.
Oh, shit.
And then the teacher came back in and saw it, and it was like all shattered. And I just remember everybody in the class at the exact same time just put our heads down. And I remember having my head down, and he was like, "Who did it?" And I was just like, "Oh shit!"
That's always the go-to when you're in school.
I'm not saying anything.
I think me and Trey were more alike in school with the, like I had bad anxiety when I was in
I had
school.
a terrible temper.
So like I would, I did too.
The worst.
I didn't.
They would give us those like division sheets with math problems. They'd
Yeah.
be like 50.
Yeah.
I would get like 8 in and freak the fuck out. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like I just get so then I just tump my desk over
Me
and
too.
start crying.
Me too. I went to the
Screaming.
principal's office 3 days in a row for flipping the desk over.
Damn.
Yeah.
We I had a teacher.
I can't do it. I'm stupid. I'm dumb.
Me and
I'm sick of
my buddy Nathan were arm wrestling in class. you
Yeah.
know. I'm a competitive person, so like
Yeah.
if you beat me at something, I want to do it until I win.
Yeah,
McIlwain
your grandpa made you.
yeah. So like I just don't like losing. So me and my buddy Nathan were arm wrestling, and the teacher said, "Hey guys, I know it's going to be hard for you two boys to keep your hands off each other." So I started just calling him a bunch of bad names, you know.
Yeah.
Can't say them on here. We don't want Trey to get canceled, but and so he said
Say it.
he sent me to the office, and you know, he was like, "Well, did you call the teacher gay?" And I'm like, "Well, he said I couldn't keep my hands off of a man." So we just argued about that, and I ended up not getting in trouble. But it was little things like I just had a bad temper, and
I didn't get along with authority, dude.
My temper was so bad. We were playing kickball one day out on the field, and there's this kid. And his name's Mcilwain, and we're actually like really close now. We're friends. Like he's sober. He's probably got like 10 years sober. Yeah, he's like a good dude. But we were playing kickball, and like 3 outs, your team's out. You know, get off second base. He would just stayed on second base and started running for the other team. I was like, "You're out," and he was like, "No, I'm not," and like wouldn't even look at me. So I just hauled off and punched him in the face.
Oh, no.
And like I'll never forget like the look on his face. He like rolled up in a ball and was like,
Dude, you're awful.
it was terrible. I mean, I had the worst temper ever. Like he wouldn't listen to me.
yeah, but he was running bases for the other team.
Yeah.
Like, so
We ended up smoking pot together and getting like we got called by the cops and like all this shit. But yeah, man, we're still friends.
do you ever have cops in your neighborhood that would take you home?
Oh yeah, dude. I can't. There's so many.
What?
I probably got.
Jude Washington in Birmingham was the one that did it for
I
me.
got pulled over on a bicycle once.
They caught me with cocaine one night and took me home and said, "You're better than this."
Nice. Did they
Let me
let you
go.
keep it?
No.
There's like probably 6 times in my drinking and using career where I got caught by the cops doing something like smoking or underage drinking, or they just called my parents and had them come pick me up on the side of the road.
We used to do it at a
It's
church
crazy.
down the road by the house because it was dark, you
Yeah.
know, and it was in the hood. It was like in between Inslee and Wylam, but they had this Confederate cemetery that nobody went to.
Yeah.
So we'd go out there to that church and get fucked up, and they would always catch us. There was this cop named Freeman. He's retired now, but we used to say he smoked 2 packs a day, but never bought a pack because he knew we were underage and couldn't buy them. So he'd pull us over and take our cigarettes every day.
Hey, is that the same guy that used to work at?
Jude was the one that was at Innisfree and Anna Funk's.
And who's the one at Tin Roof?
Yeah, they were all there.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all there. They used to work there, and they saw me when I was older and with Trey, and they were like, "Dude, this is why we let you go."
Yeah.
And they were like, "You
Can we
all."
also is that the guy that we should call it? Not maybe not call him out, but he's the one that got in trouble a few years back, right?
No, that was his partner. That
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I think it's time for some Beanboozled.
I think it's time for another beer.
God damn it.
I have a trouble story I could tell.
Where's Burrell
Bonnie,
here?
grab this.
All right, I gotta pee anyways.
One time when I was in high school, this is when I got alternative school. Did y'all have alternative school?
Oh yeah, buddy. I went to Brighton.
I dropped out
So-
once they slapped that on me.
Yeah, I had been in school suspension almost every day of high
yeah.
school.
That's doable.
I sat in
And,
the hall every day.
I had this one math teacher that I hate who still works there. And anybody that goes to Wetumpka knows who I'm talking about. I hate her so much.
What's her name?
Her name is Miss Payne, and she's the worst teacher I've ever
She's
had in
a
my life.
pain in the ass.
And
We're clipping that.
no, leave it in. I've tried to
That's what I'm
message
saying. We're
her.
clipping it.
I've tried to message her on Facebook. She won't answer my request.
Did you?
So,
What were you going to tell her? She was
He's
a
gonna
terrible
send her
teacher.
one.
yeah, I'm going to say you were the worst teacher I've ever had.
You
And
should
I'm
send her one of
successful,
those.
So screw
Yeah, she
you.
would always tell me that you're never going to graduate high school, and I have 2 college degrees now, Miss Payne.
Yeah, fuck you, Mr.
Hey,
Payne.
so, you know what's
So maybe she helped you.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, so I hated her. We never got along. She would always kick me out of class. And she had a problem where one of her eyes, she like went blind, one of her eyes from a surgery. So she couldn't see out of her left eye. So she's looking at the class. I'm on the front row of her left eye. So she can't see me
Yeah.
out of her peripheral. She has to look that way.
Yeah.
So one day it was the class we had lunch in. So we'd go to lunch, we'd come to class, leave, go to lunch, come back.
Like a homeroom.
Kind of, yeah, but it was like the lunchroom period. So
yeah.
you do like 15
fourth
minutes,
period
go to
and go-
lunch,
yeah.
then 45 minutes. So we did that. I come, she hands out a worksheet, and then we go to lunch, and then we come back. And we come back, and she walks in, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm in this class, Miss Payne." Like, what do you mean? This is like, I'm in this class. And she's like, "Yeah, but what are you doing here? You weren't here before lunch." I said, "Oh, yes, I was." And she was like, "No, you weren't. Get out. I'm writing you up. Go to the office." And I was like, "Miss Payne, hold on." Like, whoa, I was here. I haven't done anything wrong. I was here. And she was like, "Get out. Not arguing. Get out. I'm sending the referral behind you. Get out." And I was like, "Miss Payne, like, no." And she was like, "Yep, get out." And I was like, "All right, whatever." So I start walking to the office, and that referral's coming. And they'd always send that one person that was a suck ass.
Yeah, a little name taker.
Yeah. So you'd be slowly walking to the office, and a little suck ass would come waddling past you with your referral.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah, probably Bonner. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that was definitely Matt Burrell.
And so I get to the office, and the principal's like, "What now, Mitch?" And I was like, "Well, actually, this time I didn't do anything."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay, we'll wait on the referral." And the referral gets there, and she says, "Did you skip class before lunch?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, I mean, I kind of have to take her side." And I said, "Well, how about this? I have the worksheet she handed out before lunch." And I showed it to her, and she called her. She said, "Hey, did you hand out worksheet E315 or whatever it was before lunch?" She was like, "Yeah." She said, "Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you." And she ripped up the referral. And she said, "Now, Mitchell, you're not getting wrote up. Just go sit in the lunchroom for the rest of the lunch periods until the class is over and go to your next class." I couldn't do that.
No.
Yeah.
So I walked right back to her room, and I sat in my seat, and she said, "What are you doing back here?" And I stood up, and I walked over to her in the front of the class, and I said, I had the piece of the worksheet, and I said, "She tore up the referral because I was here before lunch. I got the worksheet to prove it, you blind bitch." And I threw the thing at her in front of the whole class, dude. And I blacked out. She turned into a little red rocket, I think.
That's great.
And kicked me out and got security to come escort me. And the next day, it was like harassment or something.
Oh, really?
Because I threw a piece of paper at her and called her a blind bitch. And they sent me to 10 days of alternative school.
Oh, damn.
And alternative school, you're not allowed to ride the bus.
No, your parents have to
So
take
my
you.
stepdad had to take me, the one that I would fight every day.
It's way out of the way.
Yeah. And I'd have to fight him every day. So he got pissed. My mom got pissed. And I get into my first day of alternative school, and I'm sitting next to the kid that brought a gun to school 6 months ago.
That was me.
And I'm like, "Hey man, I think I don't really belong here." Like, I was so scared, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning over like, "Hey man, you having a good day?"
You're like, "Me friends, please don't shoot me."
You're having a good day today, right, man? Like, no guns or nothing.
A
Like,
high five. I fought stepdaddies too.
Did they make you shave your head, Mitch?
but I had to tuck my shirt in. You couldn't have anything in your pocket. You couldn't wear a belt.
But it was easy once you got there. It wasn't.
You get all your work done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you were in a cubicle,
Yeah.
and you weren't allowed to turn around.
No, you
I remember
couldn't
the
turn
first day I turned around, and the dude was like a huge black guy, and I turned around, he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Whoa!"
And the bathrooms are in the classroom, right?
No, we had
Down in
no.
Birmingham.
Did you ever go back to alternative school after that?
no.
Damn.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Man, being the kid that gets sent to the hall, like everybody like looks at you. I know everybody looks at you like you're like a cancer.
That
or something,
was my
you know?
classroom. I would go in the class and I would walk in. You know how I am still. I say inappropriate things. And I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. And they'd be like, Adams in the hall.
In the hall. I
Take
don't even
your
wanna put
desk
up
to the
with it.
hall.
And you'd have to sit out there.
I would make spitballs, and when people would walk by, I'd just spitballs.
I would
at
put
them.
my desk out the window and just sit there and look at all my friends.
We had this coach. He was like a teacher too,
Yeah.
and he was like super like strict, you know. And I was in his class one day, and this girl was out with the flu. She was out for like a week, and he was like asking her about it, and I kept going. I was like, "What, you got AIDS?" And you know, my whole thing is if you don't hear my joke, I'm just gonna say it until you laugh, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What's wrong? You got AIDS?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What's wrong? You got,
Got
AIDS?"
AIDS.
You know,
You got AIDS.
He's like, "Trey, shut up. We heard you the first time. It wasn't funny, but you're just going to keep on keeping on. Get your ass out in the hallway."
And then you walked out and you're like, what's wrong? She got AIDS.
Exactly. Yeah. But you're just sitting out there in the hallway, and you're like, at some point, your ass starts going numb.
Yeah.
You just lay
We,
laying on the floor, all your
dirty
books.
asshole.
Me and Trey
He's out
made
there
a post
twirling
for
around.
one teacher when Whole Lot of
AIDS.
Nothing got 1 million streams.
Yeah.
We made a post shooting birds, but I remember got in trouble because this girl had a kid, and they told everybody to stand up and say what they were going to do.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to be a songwriter and a musician. And this girl told me, she was like, nobody's going to pay you to do that. And then when it got to her turn, she said she was going to be a meteorologist. And I said, bitch, you can't even find your children. How are you going to find a cloud? So when then the teacher told me too, she said, you might want to look into trades because you're not very good at school.
Oh, no.
And I'm a pretty efficient person. Like I can learn things.
Terry's very smart.
I
Yeah,
just
you're not stupid.
school bored me.
Yeah.
You know, so like when I did that, so when Whole Lot of Nothing and
You actually got us that plaque made for the 1 million streams.
yeah, you did. You surprised us at range
Yep.
231. But like when we did that, I tagged my teachers, and me and Trey were shooting birds.
Yeah, I remember.
Hey, that was going to be something I was
going
going to ask just a second ago. Is, you know, Trey, Terry, and Mitch, y'all all came from like, you know, just bad little things that, you know, you had troubles with. And look at all y'all now, all successful.
Well, I think struggles
cool.
make a success
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
I have one more good school story before we move on.
I mean, look at you, Mcilwain. You know, I mean,
You were just an alcoholic in 6th grade, and look at you now.
you went to church with snakes and stuff. Where they speak in tongues.
I did.
And
I
here
used
we
to-
are playing Dick Down and
I
Dice
used to
every
think
night.
McIlwain was drunk all the time. Then I learned that his family spoke in tongues, and he's never
Just
drunk.
family
He's
tongues.
just carrying on the
Speaking the
Pentecostal
snake.
tradition.
Hey, I could actually say it goes from both spectrums of things. You can come from a really good family. Like, we didn't have the best of both worlds, but like we were taught this thing, and same probably on y'all side thing. Like, we were all taught different things, but we all just met like right here when it came to this kind. Like,
Yeah.
hell, I didn't want to be. As soon as I turned 18 and was able to get out of that, I was done.
Well, I had in high school there was a teacher that was the head of the like Christian school thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And he was a science teacher. And in his class, there was this kid that had the nickname Bullfrog because he looked like a bullfrog.
I remember this.
And every Friday, he wanted to be a state trooper when he grew up. So every Friday,
Oh,
he would dress up as a state trooper every Friday.
Wow.
I don't know. And I don't like to be mean to people like that. Like, I'm always the person, like, if you don't have friends, I'll be your friend because
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So I was always friends with him. But all my friends would joke on him.
Yeah.
And they would, you know, every time he'd say something, they would all just start going, ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. And so one day, the teacher was like, all right, everybody split up into groups of 2. You're going to read these 3 chapters together.
Bullfrog was your guy.
So nobody picked him. And I was like, hey, man. And I forget his name now, but I was like, hey, dude, I'll be your partner. And he was like, oh, okay, cool.
It was Bullfrog.
Yeah. So we go sit over here in the side and we're reading our chapters.
Jeremiah was
And my teacher comes up and he hands me my referral. Mm-hmm. And he says, go to the office. I said, for what? Like, what did I do? And he was like, bullying, making fun of him. And I was like, I didn't make fun of anybody. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I look over at Bullfrog and my teacher's like, Bullfrog? Is he making fun of you? He didn't call him Bullfrog. He was like, is he making fun of you? And he was like, I don't know. was like, what do you mean you don't know, dude? I haven't joked on you at all. And I was like, I'm calling you by your name and everything. And he was like, I was like, tell him that I haven't said anything mean. Yeah. And he was like, I don't know if he's joking on me. And he was like, all right, go to the office. And dude, the very next day, as soon as I got in there, I said, fuck you, bullfrog, ribbit, bitch. And every time he talked for the rest of that class, I'd go, ribbit. And I sat right next to him. I'd look at him like this, and I would just be like, he'd start talking, I'd go, ribbit. And I mean, fuck him, dude. Yeah. I tried to be nice to you. And you
probably didn't know. You probably really didn't know.
I don't care, dude. I told him I'm being nice.
Is he a state trooper now?
No, he's a truck driver. I tried to add him on Facebook. He declined.
Man,
I had a guy. I sent him a message, and I sent a kid a message on Facebook because when I got to 7th grade, I moved in with my dad, and after I got in my fights in 6th grade, I was like, when I go to this new school, I'm punching everybody. I'm not doing the bully shit.
I'm not getting bullied. I'm just going to straight out walking in.
Like, Matt will tell you,
swinging, motherfucker.
Start hitting people.
This is where like Big Dick Terry came, where just hit somebody, you know, as soon as they start talking. But I didn't used to be that way. And this kid, I got there, he was in 10th grade. And he fucked with me every day. Because at Brookwood, I went there for 1 year and didn't make it because I got in a lot of trouble. But 7th through 12th was all together, and it was like 3,000 students. Yeah. And this kid fucked with me every day. And my cousin was a senior.
What kind of stuff would he do?
Like
wedgies or something? Or
no, he would.
You like pipsqueak?
It started with the bullshit, like the flat tire shit, stepping on your foot.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then it would be running and shoving your book bag down.
Yeah.
Oh, Trey did all that.
Why I quit wearing a book bag. And then it would be like if you would sleep in class or something, they would say, redneck, and then slap the back of your fucking head.
Yeah.
So I told him, I was like, one day I'm going to fuck you up, dude.
Yeah.
Because I was already like, at that age, I was like, dude, I could beat this dude's ass. I just didn't want to get in trouble. So I went home and I told my stepmom, Kim, she said, just punch him one time. And then I told my stepdad, and he was like, grab that motherfucker and bite his nose. You know, like, so
Ed don't play.
Ed
dude.
don't fuck around, man.
Ed showed up to Terry's dad's funeral
With a gun in his
guns,
belt.
like right here.
Yeah, like Ed's a nice.
I was like, dude, I think everything's okay. This is a funeral.
Well, he's the nicest guy ever, but he's a straight shooter. He's not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Matt met him one time, and he was like, you're good for country. You need to work on this. Like, just tells you, he's been that way with me my whole life. Like, hey, instead of fucking off in the street, why don't you work on what you want to be? Yeah. You know, he was just that type of dude. So they had both told me, they were like, and my dad and mom, you know, they're my parents. So they're like, no, don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. Don't embarrass us. Which, if you know me now, I've embarrassed all of them a lot. But my step-parents both told me, like, fuck that dude up.
Yeah.
So I went to school the next day, and I already knew in my head, the second they told me that, I was like, oh, I'm going to fuck this kid up.
Green light.
So he came up behind me, and he was like calling me names. They call me big ears and buck teeth and, you know, shit.
Do you have big ears?
He does.
Yeah, and I'm like, look at me now, bitch. I ain't got no teeth. But he came up, like, kicked me in the, like, back, you know?
Yeah.
Just
this is it. Go time.
So I turned around, and I was like, hey, man, what you want to do? And he wore glasses. And so I just like waited for him to start talking. As soon as he started talking, I just hit him. But
in the nose or
right in the edge. But it busted his glasses and like shoved it into his
eye
socket. So, but I didn't stop there. Like my stepmom told me hit him once, but I didn't. As soon as he fell, I was like, "Fuck you, bitch! You know how it goes." Like once I get going, I'm like, "Yep, you gonna die tonight." So I started hitting him and shit, and I had to go to the principal's office and stuff. And years later, I just sent him a message on Facebook, like, you know, even though he was
what's up, pussy?
Even though he was a little
want
bitch.
some more of this?
I would love for him to come fight me now. I'd beat the shit out of that dude. But I sent him a message. I was like, hey, man, even though you were a dick, I'm sorry I did that to you and embarrassed you in front of all your upper class friends. And he just responded back. He was like, cool story, man. Tell it at a party. And I was like, okay, well, I'll see you at a show one day when you want an autograph, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
What's he do now?
I think he does drugs.
Yeah. So, you know, being Trey's guitar player and one of the main characters of the band,
Band mascot.
What do your DMs look like? I mean, like after each show, are you getting DMs or?
Most of mine, like, right away when they message you, because it's like, what are you and Trey doing tonight? It's the same as any show. Girls come back.
How many people message you trying to get rights with me?
Oh, fucking way too many. Yeah, 65 South. Control your people. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, guys will see me. I played at What a Writers Round last Monday, and like 3 people messaged me and were like, hey, man, I'd love to write with you. And maybe eventually, Trey, can you hook that up? And I'm like, no, bitch, I've only wrote twice with Trey.
Yeah.
I'm not going to help you out. But I'll let you write with Trey Bonner.
I don't know about that.
Now, it's you. I've gotten to where now, as soon as you open a DM, if it's like genuine or if it's bullshit.
I want to talk about a cool moment that we had. We got this record. You got this record coming out, maybe there. And so your dad, we talked about Ed Massey a little bit, your stepdad. He was a badass drummer. Who all did he play for?
Oh, man, he played for everybody. Billy Joe.
He's kind of like your mentor in music.
Yeah, he was.
Right?
He never tried to be like a father figure. He was just always just a friend and like, hey, I'm here if you need me. But he was a badass drummer.
Yeah.
So he was always, when I was wild.
But he would be like, no, that sucks, dude.
Oh, he would. I would come in at I would have school the next morning when I decided, I've wrote my whole life. Like, that was my therapy. But I would come in and say, hey, I got this song, and I'd play it. And he'd be like, why is that any better than anything anybody else has done?
Yeah.
Why do the words in this matter more when it doesn't make sense? He's like, you can do better. Quit hanging out in the streets. Quit railing cocaine. Quit worrying about girls.
Yeah.
Quit fighting. Spend your time writing.
Yeah.
So I would come in and play him something. He'd be like, well, that's cool. That's a cool idea, but you just rush through it.
Yeah.
Like, actually spend time. So he was always like, if you're going to do something, be the best.
Yeah.
Because he was. Like, he played in Muscle Shoals. He played in Atlanta. He was a top dog studio musician.
Yeah.
Played with Bobby Womack, Billy Joe Royal, Atlanta Rhythm. Like, he played with everybody back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. He was on every commercial, So, yeah, he just... he was a no-nonsense guy, you know, just...
So you went in and cut this record. It's been, what, like a year and a half ago, probably, almost?
Yeah. We cut it December 3rd. Started it.
Yeah. So y'all cut this record, and then it was taking fucking forever to get... It was taking forever to get it done, but then I called you one day. I was like, dude, just wait, because Ben Miller produced it. He's our band leader. And
he hired a badass band.
Yeah, Ben called me one day and he was like, dude, I'm doing something really cool. I reached out to Ed on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get him to go to a studio and play on Terry's record.
Yeah. And Tony Wachter had the recordings from Ed.
And he tried to go play on it and, couldn't. He's older now. And but Tony Wachter had some old, drum files of Terry's dad, and Ben took those samples. And at the end of Maybe There, it kind of goes to, a different beat, and it's his stepdad playing on his record. And I don't know, were you with us or no?
Yeah, I was.
You were with us. Yeah,
They played it on the bus.
Played it on the bus, and Terry cried. And all the 12 years that I've known Terry, that was the first time I've ever seen him cry. It was a cool moment.
That was a cool moment.
Be sure to listen to that full.
That won't be on the record. We're gonna.
No, you're not gonna put that on there.
No, they put the short version on the record. Okay, but just for people get mad if something's over 3 minutes now. But which every song, so fuck y'all. But we're gonna do something with it.
All right, cool. But yeah, man, that is awesome.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Ben took his time with that, and sometimes Ben's angry, but recording that album, he was like He wasn't angry. He's only angry. He's only angry when McIlwain's around.
Didn't McIlwain sleep during the studio
He
session?
did. We recorded Maybe There.
I fell asleep both times during Maybe There.
When we did the music, and then when we did the vocals.
Wonder he hates you.
McIlwain fell asleep both times.
Dude, that was a long day.
We got a Beanboozled here soon, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hurry up, I gotta pee.
All right. Bonner, you got stink bug or
God
toasted?
Damn it, not again.
That's better than your Texas story.
Dude, that stink bug tastes so bad, Terry. Last time I have it, I couldn't eat breakfast the next day.
That's what we want.
I've ate some
that
raunchy
chip
things.
can smells like ass anyway.
It does.
Fuck. Remember we just can touch them all, Trey?
I'm trying
Damn,
to
you
find
finished
one.
another one?
Yeah, I finished another one, dude.
Don't be judging him.
Yeah, don't judge me.
Oh no! If I have to taste stink bug again, I'm gonna go.
I think this is it.
Oh god! Can I go ahead and eat it?
Bonner,
No, you gotta wait.
Bonner, you wait, okay?
How are you? Are you banned on Twitter yet, Terry?
No, I only get on Twitter when I'm super, super drunk.
You yeah, I guess that's fair.
Oh, I didn't know
Rotten
that.
egg or butter popcorn. Here, Terry. Don't eat it yet.
Okay.
You got any teeth to chew that thing?
Oh, dude, I'll chew it with my butt if I don't.
Oh no! I'm happy.
Dude, I never get a good tasting one. I hope I get a good one.
You got a good one last time. You got
That's
cake.
what Wallace is about to get.
Dead fish or
I never.
strawberry?
Hey, give him liver and onions.
No,
Dude, just landed on cappuccino and liver and onions.
that one made me throw
That's
up
what
on
you had
mine.
last
I got
time.
anxiety.
Old Bandage or pomegranate? Have you done that one?
Both of those suck, to be honest with you.
Old Bandage I have done.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done them all, pretty much.
I'll tell y'all what, Nikki T didn't give a shit.
Dude, he
Dude,
did.
he did
He
not.
just kept powering through.
You can tell that dude's had sex in trailer parks before.
Hey,
You probably ain't wrong. Actually.
smelly tent, like sweaty.
How'd you know he
smelly
didn't
tent.
care? You watched the episode?
Dude, I watch all the episodes. You think I'm a piece of shit?
Damn, I didn't even watch the episodes. I wrote the description and didn't watch it.
Damn, Bonner, you suck.
Stinky socks.
Okay, that's a good one.
How's
I like
your
stinky
neighbor
socks.
doing, Bonner?
Miss Pat.
Miss Pat.
Miss Pat, dude, she's great. A tree fell in her house and she didn't have power.
Stinky socks are what though?
Or
Butthole pie.
I don't think.
or Tutti Frutti.
Tutti Frutti, dude. Damn.
I don't even remember
All
what
right,
mine.
Mitch, you go. I want to
I've
watch you
never
first.
ever gotten a good taste.
This ain't it.
I want to watch you go first.
I just hope that this is the day.
Yeah, we're good last time.
It's Tutti Frutti, isn't it?
It's got to be. He's still chewing it.
Did you get a good one?
Yeah.
Good.
There we go.
Fucker.
I don't even know what mine is.
You're
Or I just like the way nasty socks smell.
What's this one?
It is
Do we have gum, Mcilwain?
rotten egg or butter popcorn.
You'll know after like
I'm in need of Mcilwain. Piss in it.
How bad is it, Terry? Is it pretty bad?
Whoa.
Each one of your empty cans, spit it in there.
no, you can't spit it out.
No, I'll be spitting mine out. I'll tell you that right now.
I already smell mine.
What's it taste like, Terry?
Fucking
Rotten egg.
Let me see. Look this way.
His eyes are watering.
that's bad.
I thought Terry could handle that.
All right, juicy pear or booger?
That's bad.
Definitely booger.
Eat it.
Oh god. I don't know what the fuck mine is, but it
Dude.
don't smell right.
The aftertaste is what.
I'm done. No, I already don't-
chew it up.
no shot, dude.
What was that, Bonner?
They don't taste right.
What was that?
Bonner, you
Come
could have
on.
beat that guy.
Well, that rotten
just
egg
stuck
one
in my-
was not good.
That shit already.
Your eyes were watering like crazy.
I tried to.
You ever played that with Gibson?
Yeah, I did when he was 2 and he cried like a baby. But I played it with Lennon, my
Yeah.
2-year-old daughter. She didn't give a fuck. She ate every one of
Dude,
them.
isn't it funny how like kids like any kind of like anything like that or like pain, how they just like they don't even know what it is. Like I watched Gibson hit his head when he was like a little kid and he didn't even cry.
Back when I was back when he loved me and we were doing boxing and jiu-jitsu, I would hit him hard as shit. And he was like tough as hell. Now, if he farts too hard, he'll cry.
How's his YouTube channel going?
Yeah.
Kids are lazy these days.
Yeah.
Like they want to be really good at everything right away.
Well, now he has video games thanks to Uncle T-Bird.
What's he play?
Thanks to Trey, everything.
He be in there kicking my ass in Fortnite?
Xbox, Switch. He plays everything. He gets online a lot. He played basketball this year, and
On the computer or in real life?
no, in real life, he probably plays it on the computer too. But he did well.
Didn't y'all said he won first place this year?
Yeah, his team was undefeated.
Did they give out participation trophies?
Fuck you. No, we don't do participation.
But did they give them out to
no,
second place?
No, we don't do that.
So as the only member that still lives in Birmingham, how cool was it playing at Iron City both times, but really the second time? I feel like most of your family came.
Yeah, a lot of people came. It was cool. Like it's hard for me. I don't really like my family being at shows.
Yeah.
Like I want to, my job is to entertain the crowd. So I don't really want to have to
Entertain your family.
Yeah, like, I just feel like, if people come that you feel like you have to go out there and talk to them and stuff. Yeah. But it was just cool. I think my favorite moment of Dick down in Dallas, because it happened so fast and it was so quick. Yeah. For a year, we didn't really know. Mm-hmm. It was just like, oh, show. We were in, for July and August, we were gone for 28 days out of the month. Yeah. So like, I think the first realization in like oh, fuck, this is cool was Avondale. Yeah. And then Iron City too. Every night when we play, and then especially when we play like Whole Lot of Nothing at these shows and everybody's singing the words. Yeah. Which is typically a song people would fight during because it's a slow country song.
Gotta feel your feelings.
The last time in Iron City was just really cool.
Do y'all know what we wrote Whole Lot of Nothing about?
Yes.
I think so. I know the story. You stay on stage.
Oh, we wrote it. We were pissed because
some college kids talking about doing.
We were pissed because people were getting promoted and we weren't,
and we were doing the work,
and we were like fucking like crushing it.
You know how many free shows? We won't say any names, but we did. Me and Trey Acoustic. Yeah. We did every fucking free show for 2 years,
and we were just frustrated. We were frustrated, so it's like, I don't know. It's cool. It's cool to like. We kind of wrote it as like this pissed off thing at everything, but like everybody like loves that song for other reasons. But for us, we were like pissed off.
We were pissed off because we did everybody that we worked with. We took shit for free. We did gig after, hey, can y'all do this? Can y'all do this? If you do this, we'll do this for you. Yeah. And it never happened. It was like, well, y'all aren't ready.
But that's just part of it.
It is part of it.
It's cool. Like back then we didn't know that shit, but like now we do, and it's like cool to like play that song.
Or you send in song requests. Me and Trey both have done this where we would write songs and send it to people, and they'd be like, "You're amateur."
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep working at it.
Yeah. Keep working.
Yeah. Let's go around and say our favorite thing and least favorite thing about Terry.
Okay. I love it.
You want to go first, Bonner?
Terry's loyalty.
Is that your favorite or
That's
least
my favorite?
That's his least favorite.
Terry will die for any of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's your least favorite?
Probably that he didn't do the Heimlich maneuver when I fell and I ate my AirPods.
Bonner did swallow his AirPods one night.
Dude, I fell out of my bunk and I was like, Terry, I don't know where my AirPods are.
I did talk to you.
Yeah, Terry did try to calm me down. I'm just a fucking moron.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Terry is you don't have to wonder what he's thinking.
Yeah.
He'll tell you.
He's my favorite thing about you.
He'll just straight up be like, yeah, this is what I think right now.
Yeah.
My least favorite thing about Terry is how he tries to always find somebody on the band to teach jujitsu to.
When he gets drunk?
No.
On the bus until like 7 a.m.
Yeah. They request it.
Yeah,
I've never gotten this.
Dude,
not really.
I've leaned out of my...
Have y'all not seen Ben ask me when he's 14 bourbon shots?
I sat in the front lounge the other night just watching... them, like, Ben was like, hey, slap me harder.
Yeah, Ben literally, when he gets drunk, he's like, show me something.
I woke up at like 6:30 a.m. and I hear y'all talking. I looked out of my bunk and Ben was like, all right, so if the old lady hits me here, what do I do? And you were like, all right, so get in an athletic stance and act like you're the old lady hitting me and I'll show you what to do. And then, dude, they just went back and forth like that. And I was just like, go to bed. And then both of them simultaneously were like, shut the fuck up, Mitch.
They did this for like 2 hours.
Oh, you told him to go to bed?
Yeah, he
I remember the first time Mitch ever came on the road with us, he called me. He was like, when we got back, he was like, do your bandmates do that every weekend? I was like, yeah. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, they went from crying to laughing to arguing, back to crying, back to
kissing each other. Hugging each other.
Playing the fucking...
Then they got naked. Then they put their clothes back on. Then they started crying again. And then they fought.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, and then they just all were friends again. Then they took turns playing guitar in a circle.
Yeah.
And half of them can't play guitar. I was like, dude, it was miserable.
I was like, yeah, that's what they do, man.
You should have seen Mcilwain back in the day. He lost me a couple of gigs for playing guitar.
Dude, that was funny. All right, what's your least favorite thing? You ain't getting out of this.
I mean, my favorite thing is it's hard to say just one thing about Terry, but his loyalty and friendship throughout the years and has been. I feel like I have like and y'all have heard me say this before. I feel like I have a lot of people that call me their friend, but I don't have a lot of people where like they're my friend back,
Yeah.
I mean, Terry's been there with me through everything, I mean, I consider everybody in this room like really close friends, but I mean, Terry was there. Terry's just been my best friend through a lot of shit that I've been through in my life, my divorce, everything. And, he's been loyal. Like Bonner said, I mean, there was times where he could have jumped ship and went to another gig for $10 more or even $300 more, and he never did.
Yeah.
My least favorite thing about Terry is when he's
Drunk.
Well, no. Well, yeah, he gets drunk. I mean, I've learned to just take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But you can't say that to him when he's drunk. Like, you have to believe him and you have to feed into it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, he's just going to get really pissed.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You can't ask Trey a question that will surprise him because we already know.
Yeah.
And as soon as I sober up, I'll be like, that was bullshit, Trey.
Yeah.
But
I remember this one time Terry went out to Red Door. And he went out to Red Door and he met up with like I think Co and Hardy and all them were up there and they got him fucked up, like so fucked up. And he was supposed to go back to Birmingham the next morning. And I mean, like, you remember my old house? I had those steps that were like all
ridiculous.
He got to the top of the stairs and he could barely even stand up straight. And by the way, he drove to my house. He looks at me like a ghost and goes, I got fucked up. And I was like, well, dude, what are you going to do? You're supposed to go home like tomorrow. And he's like, what are you going to tell Ashley? He's like, oh, fuck her. I told her I wasn't coming home. And then like he had his like phone open, and like where he was like texting Ashley and it said, I don't feel good. Sorry, I can't come home tonight. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Lying sack of shit.
Yeah. So that night, I bought Co and his group, Dre and them, even though Dre called me ugly on here.
Yeah.
I love Dre. He's a sexy dude. And Co and Dre, every show we've done.
He called you ugly on In the Round.
Yeah.
Not here. This is different.
Well,
He didn't do it on DM Monday. No.
Okay, but I love Dre. Like he's
Dre loves you. He talked about you today.
No, I know. Like that whole crew is the coolest people.
Yeah.
Me and Trey went back and hung out with them at the shows we did. They are the most humble. They'll also whip your
Real
ass, but they're
dudes.
they're real motherfuckers. They don't lie. So Dre's been great to us. Like when we played shows with him, and he calls me ugly to my face. So I love it because I am ugly. Look at this shit. But we can't all be Mitch Wallace while he's texting girls over here.
I think when God made me, he was like, damn, this guy's so good looking, I got to make him fat.
Yeah.
It's not fair to the rest of everybody.
I don't think that at all.
I do. I agree.
I think when God made you, he was high.
If he would have made me skinny, it'd have been
This is a
over.
Blake Shelton song. I mean,
I got a piece of
we'll call her.
Yeah, we're about to wrap this up here, Terry. When's your record coming out? Tell everybody again. It'll probably be out by the time this episode
First of all,
drops.
nobody in this band wraps anything up, but it comes out March
That's
10th.
right. That is right.
It comes out March 10th.
I'm just
Hopefully,
content
Alex Cape controlled it, so it may come out March 23rd.
Who knows?
But
or it might come out 3 weeks later. We're kidding, Alex. We love
we
you.
love
right
you,
now.
Alex. Alex has helped me a lot on this. He's
Yeah.
been great. It comes out March 10th. Maybe there. Pre-order it or don't.
Yeah, or just go listen to it because this episode might be out by the time it comes out.
Yeah, and if not, Wild Greg said we're having the release party March 10th, the night we play.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we got shows coming up. Be sure to check our website, TreyLewisMusic.com, for tour dates and all that stuff. You want to support the podcast, go buy merch, whatever. And Terry, thank you for driving all the way up from Birmingham to do this today.
and
That's
thank
an
you,
honor.
Trey, for paying for the album. He doesn't like that part.
Yeah, that's all right. That's okay. I'm okay with it. You deserve it. Like I said, I always tell you that your loyalty is pays me enough. Well, I can't wait to do it again. Album number 2, and coming soon. And this has been episode 29 9 of the DM Monday podcast. Please rate, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching, and peace out.
Give a holler to that blue collar boy out in the holler. Let him ride you out the city, around the farm, do some fishing in the dark, get you digging out the stars a little closer out here. No, if you need a little change of view, you wanna see how that down home looks on you, light it up, he'll be gone. Just give a country boy a call. If you wanna see what you hear in them country songs, wanna watch a harvest moon hang all night long, if you wanna stick them high risers in the rear view, he's got a cross hanging from the middle one. All you gotta do, just give a holler to that blue collar boy out in the holler. Let him ride you out the city, round the farm, do some fishing in the dark, get you digging how the stars a little closer out.